What is good with the YouTube fight fans all over the world? It's your boy, the realest of the real. Yes, sir, I said the real talk boxing. It is a privilege and honor and a major blessing to be back with you beautiful people this Sunday morning. Let's talk about the call out. Post ring interview, Jake Paul. He says, I want Nate, you little B. I want Nate. Quit being a little B and fight me. And of course, Canelo, which, I mean, that fight could possibly happen. Canelo didn't rule it out. But before I start that, man, I want to say this, man. Boxing is almost like politics and religion. You can't really, with certain people, you can't discuss boxing. You can't tell someone your view on a fight and without them getting upset, or your view on a fighter that's, probably one of their favorite fighters, say anything different about what their opinion is about them without getting into an argument, man. I just don't understand it, man. I don't. Last night, I stated that Anderson pushed Jake Paul, had him against the ropes, applying pressure at spots. He was talking to him in the ring, getting low on him, playing around with Jake, in a sense, in the ring. And I had him up going into the 8th round, 4 rounds to 3. That 4 rounds to 3 is close, right? It's only one round. You would think I stated that Anderson was winning unanimously, that he was completely wiping the floor with Jake Paul. Jake Paul hit him, a lot with the right hand before he actually caught him with the right hand that Anderson didn't see and dropped him. Close fight, but in my view, I see the 50-year-old actually pushing Jake. Tremendous performance from both of them. But you would think that I said, hey, man, Anderson got robbed. He won that fight. Jake won. I stated that Jake won. Respect to you, Jake. That's what I said in my fight. And I also said in my live stream, hey, man, you won. You walked through the frying pan. You faced a little adversity. You got pushed a little bit. And, you walked through it. Got the knockdown and you sealed the deal because the fight was really close till you got that knockdown. I had Anderson up by 1 round until that knockdown, and a handful of other people did. But because I said that, woo, boy, some Jake fans got on me. And not only on YouTube, well, on Instagram, I had some actual adult conversation because there were people messaging me on Instagram. Real talk, did you see the fight? What'd you think? I said, well, I had Anderson up by 1 round until Jake sealed the deal with that knockdown. Jake won the fight. It was a great performance by both. I was more impressed with the older guy, almost 50 years old, who was keeping up and pressing the young man. Had the young man in some spots grabbing and groping Anderson because of that heat that was in the kitchen. But Jake won the fight. It was close. He got the knockdown. If it wasn't for the knockdown, regardless of what the numbers say, I don't care about numbers. If it's what I view, because if I cared about numbers, I would have cared about numbers with the Loma and Ortiz fight, which I really wanted Loma to win that fight. And I stated that Loma would get those belts back. He will be champion again. But Ortiz got robbed. He got robbed. I feel like the younger man did enough to win that fight. He out-hustled. Loma, he threw a lot of flashy punches, a lot of fast punches. A lot of them wasn't connecting, but still, he just out-hustled Loma. And I don't think Loma should have got that victory. And that's me saying something about one of my favorite fighters. Is that biased and delusional? Boxing is just like politics and religion. With some people, you can't conversate with them, man. Because any slight disagreement on what their thoughts are with one of their favorite fighters, it turns to an argument. See, this is why I love Eunice and the Boxing Scholar. We don't always agree on everything, but we conduct ourselves as grown men and we have conversation with each other. And we agree to disagree. We agree to disagree. And I've never gotten upset or told someone that they're biased and delusional for stating their opinion. It's your opinion. It's your opinion. Well, unless you one of them alphabet boys. And my Alphabet Boys, they completely biased. You know what I'm saying? I gotta admit that. You know, let's backtrack. Yeah, I've said that about them Elemental P boys. But to the video at hand, man. I stretched too long on that. It's just getting old. Nate Diaz, Jake Paul beats him, man. In my honest opinion, Jake Paul beats him. If Anderson Silva couldn't get Jake out of there, Nate Diaz isn't. I just don't feel like he will. I think Anderson is a better boxer than Nate. Nate do got hands, but and Nate's younger, but he's got a lot of wear and tear on his body, man. I don't know if Jake would necessarily knock Nate out. I think he would stop Nate late. If they're fighting 8 rounds, maybe 6th, 7th round would stop him. Too much accumulated punishment. But nevertheless, I think the build up to the fight would be grand. All the back and forth and talking trash about each other, even though that's not really my thing. Those two do it the best. It would be entertaining to some. I just want to see you get in there and mix it up. But, and that's if Nate'll fight him. And some people would probably say that Nate would beat Jake. I don't think so. I would definitely put my money on Jake Paul in that fight. So you got did y'all hear that? Fanboys, did y'all hear that? Yeah, I said Jake would beat Nate Diaz. Now, for people who want to see Jake Paul beat, if Canelo got some wild hair and actually wanted to fight Jake Paul, that's the fight where he gets beat. I stated that he's clout chasing. He's always yelling Canelo's name, unless he really thinks he can beat Canelo. And maybe the young man thinks he can beat Canelo. That's why he's continuously saying, "Hey, Canelo slowed down a bit, and I'm telling y'all I could beat him. Y'all didn't think I could beat Anderson, but he did. It wasn't easy though. It wasn't easy. You got pushed. You were on the ropes a lot that night, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't compare Anderson, who's 50, to Canelo, who's 30-something. And yeah, he slowed down, but bro, I don't know, man. But yeah, the fight between Nate and him, I think, is very, very possible, more possible than him and Canelo. But I just think Nate's going to get stopped, man. I really do. I don't think he has anything. I mean, he has, some experience, but he's too slow. He's too slow, and he doesn't have one-punch knockout ability. He can hurt you. He can rock you, but Jake will probably be much bigger in that fight. Not saying that Nate's a small, scrawny dude. He's pretty tall and got decent size to him. But you look at Jake, he's just yoked and beefy, man, and young, and has an explosive right hand. So I just don't see Nate winning that fight, man. But I want to know what you think about it. Comment down below. Let me know. As always, respect all, fear none. God bless. The next time we'll talk boxing, I'm up and I'm out of here. Bye, y'all.